Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel once again. My name is Brandon. I'm an acting coach, and today I'm jumping back into Angelica Hale, this time a duet with her and a young man named Ethan Payne singing Shallow. This is another Jump the Line request from David. Thank you so much, David, for all of your support for the channel. It really does mean the world to me. I do appreciate it. If you want to skip ahead to the actual reaction, I will leave chapters. I'll create chapters in the description. You'll be able to see it on the search bar where each thing begins. So if you want to jump ahead to the reaction, you can do that. But I'm going to take a quick look at the email that David sent because I thought there was some interesting information. First of all, he let me know that he chose this song because it's not very processed. It's not a studio version, so it's a really raw look at her voice. And two, the first is Shallow, sung by Angelica Hale and Ethan Payne at a Georgia Make-A-Wish charity event. He said Ethan was a top 30 contestant on season 17 of American Idol and is now a singer-songwriter working in Nashville. When he was young, he, like Angelica, was a Make-A-Wish kid. They met for the first time at this event and they did this impromptu duet sitting in a green room. So I'm excited to jump into this. 14-year-old Angelica singing Shallow. I'm all over that song. Love that song so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Check the description for all my social media links, including a link to the Patreon, the Discord. If you want a Jump the Line just like David, there is a PayPal link down there. Just shoot me an email, let me know what you want to hear, and we'll work out the details from there. But for right now, we're just going to jump into this one again. Angelica Hale, Ethan Payne, Shallow. So yeah, let's just jump into this one. That was a big laugh. You can really hear the room. So I'm glad that that's a good sign.
Tell me something, girl.
Okay.
Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more?
A little bit of grit, like that.
Is there something else you're searching for?
It's a little pitchy. Pick it up, Ethan.
In all the bad times I find myself for change. In the good times I find myself.
Okay. So I feel like I need to step into this for a little bit because I made a couple of faces. I don't mean to do that. I don't have a poker face, guys. And I want to say some things before I get accused of hating on this young man. First of all, I mean, it's an impromptu performance. It probably wasn't very rehearsed. I don't know how well he knows the song. Like I doubt he's like gone over it a bunch of times. A lot of rehearsal go into getting a live performance right. So I'm not trying to hate on the kid. There were some pretty glaring pitch issues a couple of times there that kind of hit me a little sideways. This sort of grit to his voice is really kind of cool and sounds interesting. And he's doing a good job of playing through the mistakes and sort of embodying the song and really just sort of performing it well. So I'm enjoying that. It's in his body. He's kind of selling it. Like that a lot. The pitch issues, I don't know, like the grit, maybe the grit's not supernatural for him. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know his voice. If it's not, if he's pushing it a little bit, that could account for the pitchiness. He might be nervous, or maybe they're in a place where he's been rehearsing a bunch of other music, and this is possibly more likely, and maybe he's been performing and his voice is just tired. And this is not a song that he's like super rehearsed at. So being tired, having some performer fatigue, it would just happen. So I'm not trying to hate on the kid for it. It hits me in the ear when it happens and I can't help my face, guys. Like seriously, I don't have a poker face, but I'm not hating on the kid at all. It sounds great. He's got a great tone. He's obviously incredibly talented. He's a working musician, which, you know, kudos for that. Could never be me. So I'm not hating on it. There were some things that really hit me starkly, and I felt them on my face, and I knew I was going to get some hate in the comments about it. So I wanted to stop and address it. But hopefully, as the song goes on, he'll get more comfortable, get more relaxed into it, and be able to sort of find his footing a little bit. That'd be the hope. I hope so. But here comes Angelica. And if you're going to sing with this young lady, you got to bring your A game. Just saying.
Tell me something,
Pitch perfect. That's so low. Beautiful. Wow. I gotta ask this question. Like, I don't know that this is happening. I wondered how planned this is, like how much they talked about this beforehand, because I think that's a little low for her. Like, I think that she could, if she were performing it on her own, she might bring it up a little bit, at least a half a step. Because she started super low. It sounded great, but I don't think she could have. Maybe she could have. I don't think it would have been super comfortable for her to have stayed down there for all of these bits of the song. So I don't know. My question is, was this prepared? Did they plan this? Did they say, "Hey, this is the key we're going to do it in"? Let's rehearse it a couple of times? Or is this something that she kind of just fit into because this is the key he was going to do it in? It's what he needs, maybe, or this is where he was comfortable playing it. Or maybe they never even really discussed it and she's finding the best places to fit her voice into it because it was pretty low and she's really navigated that up beautifully. I mean, the realist in me likes to think that probably they settled on this key because it was best for both of them. It was the best compromise they could come up with, and they've rehearsed it a few times, so she knows where she's going. But sort of the romantic in me, and that's not like coupley romance. That's more like literary romance, like like idealization, right? Sort of the romantic, the person who wants to see the ideal scenario in me. Um, would like to think that she's kind of doing it on the fly and having to navigate this key that maybe isn't optimal for her and find ways to sort of show off her voice and be comfortable in it, which is really exciting, would be really exciting. It's probably not the case, but that's where my mind went when I was watching that. So I just thought that would have been cool. So beautiful. And look at that eye contact too. Look at it.
Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now.
Just a quick note, I probably would have had both of them come in on I'm on the deep end. The difference in their voices is very stark, not even just obviously their voices are different, but his voice is with all the bass in the room with the mic that they're using. Obviously, it's just a camera. It was kind of jarring. I probably would have had him come in with her on I'm on the deep end, harmonize a little bit if they can, and that might have made that change a little less stark. I'm going to go back and look at that, but whenever he came in, it really felt kind of jarring. That's not on him at all. He sounded great. It's just her voice, it feels so small in this open room, no compression, with the room echo. Her voice just feels a lot smaller. It's much more high pitched. That's what's going to happen. You're going to lose some bass. And when he comes in with his sort of bigger, bassier voice, it just felt like a really, really stark contrast. And I think harmonizing together, if he can do that, and if he would be able to sort of pull back a little bit to fit in with her in a harmony, I think it would have served the song better. But that's just a choice. Obviously, again, not produced. They maybe didn't. It's just so much bigger. He's communicating so much better this time, and I think that's probably because of her. Beautiful. Nice. It's a lovely, lovely duet. Come on now. I've got chills just anticipating this. Nice. Good. So good. Oh, nice. Okay, really quickly, I know we're coming toward the end, so I won't keep too much of this. I'm going to go back just a little bit because I really want to hear some of that harmony that they did again. I thought it was really nice. One thing that if you're just listening to this with your naked ear, and if you're not feeling it as much as it seems like I am, one, I can't help it. Angelica, this attitude that she has is sort of is really infectious. This sort of passion that she has about it. I see her using so many tools that I know she's been given by coaches and teachers over the years to help her find the pitch, stay on the pitch, control her breath. She's doing so many things even these little points she's doing where she's sort of conducting the song. She's sort of moving with her hand up and down the scale. Those are all tools that you get taught as a singer that can help you sort of visualize the note. And I mean, singing is a whole body activity. Any vocal coach will tell you that. All these things work together. She's doing a beautiful job there sitting. This is a big song. She's keeping her breath. And I got to say, Ethan over here, he's doing really, really good now. Like, I'm really impressed with this section of the song. The harmony, I think, was a lot better than it sounded. Like, it really impressed me when I heard it. And then I thought about it in hindsight and thought, well, it didn't sound as clean as I think it actually was. And I think a lot of that has to do with the room resonance and the kind of mic that they're using. No compression, there's no balancing on it at all. This is completely raw. So it's really difficult with that kind of situation, so much space between you and the microphone, and in just an empty room like this with no sound dampening, to make a harmony sound super clean without really nice equipment. So I think that it was probably, for me, it sounded really, really crisp. The harmony sounded really good, and this where he went up here in just a second. But when I thought back on it, it wasn't quite as clean in reality as I heard it, and I think that might have something to do with that. So that's just my opinion on that. But he's doing a great job here. The communication's really gone up a notch. I think, again, the value of having a good scene partner cannot be overstated, because even if you're struggling or you're not really in it, or maybe that's not even your skill set particularly, that's not really what you're good at. If you get on stage with somebody who's an excellent communicator, who's got a lot of chemistry, and who's open and communicative with you, it's really difficult to be really bad at it. And at the beginning, he wasn't really bad at it. He was just a little bit here and there. It didn't really jump out to me. In this little section, their communication is really solid. They're very connected. They're working off of each other. They're listening to each other. They're interacting non-verbally. And I really honestly believe, again, I don't know anything about Ethan, so it may be something that he's very good at and does consistently. But I have to believe, just from what I've seen, that a lot of that has to do with Angelica and how open she is with her partner here. It just breeds a strong connection and breeds strong communication, and they're doing a wonderful job. Plus, she always just seems to be having so much fun when she's singing, and I can't help but love watching that. Okay, we're gonna finish it out. I backed up a little bit. We're gonna hear this last little duet, this last the verse I think that they just did, where there's some harmonizing and some really beautiful things happening with the eye contact and facial expressions. They're really talking to each other. So I'm excited to see that one more time, and we're just gonna play this through to the end. So. I mean, just look at that look on his face. He's completely dialed in now. And he's listening to her. So good. It's beautiful. Right here. Yeah, I think that harmony is really clean. I mean, I think the smiles all around. You guys did great. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. High fives. So I really think that harmony may not have sounded as clean as it really was, because I really, really believe, having listened to it really carefully that last time, that harmony was super, super clean, super tight. Ethan did a great job on that one. Of course, Angelica did great. She was pitch perfect throughout. I didn't hear any mistakes. If there were mistakes, which those likely were, everybody makes mistakes, they weren't glaring and they didn't distract. One of the things that I noticed throughout my time that I see a lot from singers is that if you're a really good natural performer, a natural singer, a good communicator when you sing, you very seldom, unless it's just a really bad mistake, you very seldom hear or notice as an audience the little hiccups that anybody has, because we're human and we're dealing with human things and we all make mistakes. But you don't notice them as much because they're much better at being sort of naturally and intuitive. They're very good at being natural and intuitive with how they adjust throughout a performance, so that whenever they do make a mistake, they're able to sort of parlay that, slide that in, and create a good moment, a good intentional moment out of a small mistake. And so you don't notice them; they're not as glaring. I think that I didn't really hear anything that stood out to me after the first little bit, the first time, the first section that Ethan vocalized in. I didn't hear anything else that really stood out to me. There were a couple of pitch issues early. Singing with Angelica, spending some more time playing the guitar and listening. Maybe he was just able to settle in. There's a million reasons he could have been off pitch. Again, I was not hating on him. I know I made faces. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I didn't mean to make faces at you, bro. It just kind of came out. You sounded great. Angelica sounded beautiful. This was a gorgeous, gorgeous duet. Those last couple of harmonies were really, really beautiful. And she just has so much fun. He seemed to be too toward the end. How could you not, playing across from someone who seems so full? She just got so much joy in her, and I loved seeing it. Thank you, David, once again for the jump the line request. Both of these are coming really soon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means the world. I cannot tell you how much it means. Thank you again. If you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed what you watched, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Check the description for all my social media links. We're over 25K now. So excited about that. I'm planning a live stream. Don't know how I'm going to do that, what I'm going to do it for. I will tell you that I'm thinking about taking a lot of my live streams over to Twitch. We're having some copyright issues, so that might happen. I hope you guys will follow me over there. But for now, I just appreciate you being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for giving me some of your day. It means the world. Please remember, as always, to be kind to each other. And most importantly, be kind to yourself.